All right, today we're going to use our yoga strap for some deep stretches. You can also use a belt or a towel or a piece of rope. Straps are available just about anywhere these days. You can buy them online, I'm sure. Everything's available online. Let's go ahead and begin with a little bit of a shoulder work. And this is a little bonus exercise today that we're going to use to look at range of motion and strength in our rotator cuff muscles of our shoulder. So we want to begin standing tall, and let's just let our hands rest down by our sides wherever they come naturally. And then we want to take hold of the strap or belt, and just that we can't pull it any wider than our own shoulders. Now let's lengthen up tall here, and we're going to begin to lift up on our inhale. Maybe we just get this far and exhale down. Inhale up, and we're going to take it through our own personal range of motion, up as far as we can go, and back down. And again, inhale as we come up, as far as we can go personally, back down. Moving with our own breath. So hopefully we've warmed up a little bit, because these are some deep stretches. We want our muscles warm. We can also be doing this in a warm room. That'll help loosen our muscles up and allow us to stretch a little deeper. But I'm going to assume everything's ready to go. Let's do 2 more of these. Again, this is a nice strengthening exercise that we can do at home anytime to work on our shoulders. All right, we're going to begin with some balance and some work on our hips. So if you happen to have a corner like I do right here, that's going to be ideal for this next one. Just kind of place yourself in that corner. Otherwise, you'll have to turn around to keep using the wall. But find a wall, because you probably will need it for this one. Let's go ahead and we're going to wrap the strap just under the ball of our foot, so kind of right at the arch. We're going to hold it with the same side hand and just lift our leg out in front. And kind of practice doing this without hand on the wall. Make sure to find something that's not moving to really stare at and focus on. And we're going to lengthen out through the crown of our head. Let's open up. All right, this is where it gets a little tricky. And again, just lift and lengthen, focus. Let's bring it back to the center. We're going to reach down with the opposite hand, and we're going to twist to the other side. So that's where having the other wall comes in. And just breathing as best we can. Now let's release here and bring it down. Make sure to hold the wall. Let's take it to the other side. So we're going to begin here, across the arch, same side hand. Let's lift up, holding the wall if we need to. Practicing letting it go. Always lifting through the crown of our head. Let's open up any amount. And we're going to notice a difference on this side than the other side probably. Most of us do have differences in our hips. Now let's bring this back to the center, where we're going to reach down with the other hand. We also can kind of release out on the strap if we need to. Just kind of find the spot that works best. And again, let's release. And we're going to go ahead and have a seat. Let's begin here with just a simple forward fold. And this is what we want to focus on for this next one, just an easy forward fold. We're going to take the strap underneath the balls of our feet again, keeping our feet hip distance. And this is mainly just to keep our legs at that position. We're not going to pull, we're just going to let ourselves fold forward while keeping that alignment at our feet. So don't pull, just release. Letting our head come down toward our knees. Now let's go ahead and sit down. We're going to slip the belt or strap up just behind the balls of the feet. This time curl our toes. So we're going to work our feet a little bit here, drawing down. We are pulling. Just to pull our feet back. See if we get a little more stretch to our calves, but working our toes and feet at the same time. Sitting up tall. And let's release, wiggle them out. So we're going to open up our chest next. We'll turn sideways here. A lot of us are going to be able to reach back and clasp our hands and open up, but if not, we're going to reach and just hold on to our strap here. Roll our shoulders back and just open up here. Breathing deeply, we got our chest and our heart opening. Let's just breathe and open. We can always let out wider on our belt, or after a couple of breaths, maybe walk our hands in a little closer. Breathing deeply. And let's release from there. So we're going to take our strap, we're going to come to one of our quintessential yoga poses here, our cow face pose for our shoulders. So we're going to take the strap in one hand and let it hang over our back. That elbow is going to reach up, and we're going to reach around with our other hand and grab our belt. So let's sit up tall here, lengthening up and maybe looking up at our elbow. Every couple of breaths, we can see if we can get our hands a little closer to each other. And let's go ahead and bring our chin down toward our other shoulder. Let's take it back up. And carefully release. So let's take it to the other side. We're going to have the strap over our back, elbow up. Let's reach around with the other arm and just grab the belt. And look up at our elbow. So you'll notice that my hands don't get as close to each other on this side. Totally normal. I've had a little injury in that shoulder. But some of us may use one side more than the other. If you golf or do an activity where it's all one-sided, you may be a little tighter in one shoulder than the other. So just honor whatever you're feeling in your own body. Let's look down at the other shoulder. And just meet ourselves where we are today. Taking a look back up. And let's release. So that's one of the reasons we can use a strap, especially for like these shoulder poses and stuff. Let's take our strap beside us for a moment. We're going to go ahead and roll on down to the floor. And just take a moment to loosen up here. We're going to move into our happy baby pose, which is one where we hold our feet and draw our knees down. But some of us can't quite reach our feet here. So we can take our strap. Maybe a little bit tricky to do this, but let's hook our feet and we'll take them up to the ceiling. And we want them a little wider than hip distance for this. And then hold on to your strap. And we're going to bend our knees and just begin to draw down. Knees coming out beside our ribs. We are pulling, but not. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Really let the knees do most of the work here. And just use the strap for keeping our feet at that distance from each other. And feeling a little stretch right here. So we're feeling this in our hip, a little bit in our thighs. Breathing deeply. And let's release. Shake it out. Now let's just do a little bridge pose here. And I tell you what, let's hold on to our strap at that hip distance. Reach up overhead. And lift. And just go through the motion of pulling the strap apart. Really activating the muscles up in our shoulders and chest. Breathing. And release. Let's take our legs out long. And we're going to take one knee in. We're going to wrap the strap around. This is just like in our balancing pose that we did earlier. We're going to take the strap in the same side hand, lift up. But we're going to take our other hand right onto our hip. So let's push out through both heels. Let's push that heel out long, that heel up to the ceiling. Keep active in both legs right here. And we're going to open out to the side. So our other hip is on our hip, so that when we get to where that hip starts to pop up, we're going to stop. So this is where you are. Stop right here. So unless it's a little more open, we can go here. So just make sure the other hip or glute is on the floor, and breathe. Keep pressing away through both heels. We want both legs active. Now let's bring that foot up. We're going to reach up with the opposite hand this time. Take our hand out wide. And we're going to start to roll that leg over. Now we're going to roll over onto the side of the bottom leg. And again, just let this leg go as far as it will. Some of us will be able to touch the floor. Not all of us will. But keep pushing through that bottom leg. Feel this twist. A little hard to breathe. But make sure to breathe. And let's bring that back up. And shake everything out. So let's take it to the other side. Strap underneath the ball of the foot, arm across the arch, holding the same side hand. Let's push this heel into the floor or the wall, this one into the ceiling, other hand pressing on our hip. Remember, we can let out on the strap if we need to. Just kind of find what's natural. Keep pressing, and let's open up. So if we find our hip wanting to come up, that's where we want to come back and stop. As long as that hip stays down, we can open that other leg up. Breathing. So if we're breathing here, we're releasing, hopefully releasing some tension. Now let's go ahead and bring this leg back up, reach up with the opposite hand, take our other arm out wide, and again, roll all the way over. And some of us, again, are going to be able to get the foot all the way down, but maybe you won't. And just kind of hang out here. Keep pushing the other foot into the wall. This one is pushing into a wall. And breathe. We can turn our head the opposite direction. And let's draw that back up and release. So let's just lower that down. Take our legs out straight for a moment. And just find a moment of Shavasana, a moment of stillness. Let's stay active in our breath though. Inhaling deeply through our nose, exhaling completely through our nose. One more deep breath. And then we'll hug our knees. Roll it over, and we'll use our top hand to push up and have a seat. So those are some ways that you can use a strap if you take a class somewhere and let's say hands don't quite reach if the instructor has you doing the cow face pose, or you can't quite reach your foot if you're doing some of those other poses. A strap is a nice way to lend some extension when your own body is too tight to get into some of those poses. So don't let a teacher intimidate you. Just keep your strap with you. See, they're nice and small. They fit right in a bag. They're not that heavy. So those are just some ways that you can use that if you ever find yourself needing to. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.